Yesterday I watched Eurovision. I don't know if you guys know what that is. I finally understood why there's a new war in Europe. It's so that Serbia could not win Eurovision.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
I don't know how relevant this joke is for people because you need to have watched it. But basically, Serbia had a really decent, with a okay message sort of song.
It was cool.
Moldova had a hilarious one. Moldova had a hilarious one where they just jumped out on stage and started playing harmonicas and just lost their shit in like turbo folk shit. And like when it comes to the critics, they gave Moldova like I think 5-6 points. But when it comes to viewers that watched it, they gave Moldova like 350 points. So there was a big stark contrast between what critics gave points to versus what the viewers gave points to, except of course Ukraine. Ukraine got all the critic votes and got all the individual votes, which it must be kind of a pain for the Ukrainian team because it was a decent song, as much as a song can be decent on fucking Eurovision. But people are either going to think that they won because of the politics and not the song, even though the song was good. Maybe not the best one, but then again, a song competition is weird because you're comparing different pieces of art, which art by itself, yes, can carry inherent value, but the value is subjectively linked to that piece of art. So you cannot compare it to another one. It's like comparing frogs and apples. It's weird. But yeah, I finally understand why there's a war. It's so Serbia couldn't win the Eurovision. It was a very long play by certain shadow movements which orchestrated this whole thing, but now they're we've seen through their intentions.
Gopnik's got a new conspiracy theory.
It's the Albanians behind it again.
Now, there was an epic moment, speaking of Albanians, but not really speaking of Albanians, there was a very beautiful moment where all the little countries in ex-Yugoslavia that fought wars against each other, they ended up, because Serbia was the only one participating out of all of them in this year's final of the Eurovision, and they all gave Serbia like 12 points, like maximum points. We're supposed to be hating each other. So that was the coolest part, the only reason why I didn't regret watching that fucking shit show is because, like, okay, Tito is still alive and beating in certain people's hearts, I guess, because I did not see that coming. You know, peace in the Middle East, maybe not yet, but peace in the Balkans, absolutely. You guys need a Eurovision, Hakim. You guys need a Eurovision. Exactly. That's what's gonna solve all your problems. Asia Vision.
Yeah, exactly. We need a, what's it called? Arabs Got Talent. We already have an Arabs Got Talent, but you know what I mean. You know something I never understood about? Okay, it's called Eurovision, but like, there's so many countries that are not like quote unquote European.
Australia participates.
Yeah. I'm like, what determines who gets to be on and who gets? Is it just anybody who applies? Is it like the World Cup? You just have to like qualify? I don't get it.
It's a strange question. I don't know the answer. The only thing I know is that they make you pay a very large fee in order to be in the rooster. They make the whole country
the rooster.
pay. The roster. Okay, very funny. But I guess everybody felt pity on Australia, which we feel pity on a country that's its own continent. Number one, number two, yes, as I said before, doesn't exist. But it's its own continent, so it doesn't get to participate in any other like continental events. So they were like, okay, I guess Eurovision, we can't participate in the EuroLeague or Euro Cup, when it's football, but I guess we can participate in very homoerotic musical expression on stage. So good for them. And obviously Israel gets to participate, but not Palestine.
Course,
because I remember a few years ago, I think it was Iceland or something that pulled up a flag of Palestine on Eurovision, and they got fined. Of
course
and they like the International Eurovision Syndicate or whatever said that this is a non-political event. The Eurovision non-political. That's the funniest thing on planet Earth, and how they shouldn't have done that, and that's very messed up. Blah blah blah. But as we've seen this year's show, there was one particular flag, which I'm not saying is either good, either bad, a bit performative in my opinion, but okay, you do you. And that, but that was not political in any way, nor considered, nor actually it was not only not considered political, it was considered the right thing to do, because we should support
Please, okay, the
anti-war.
The Israeli hit I've shot Palestinian children is completely not political. Okay, it's an allegory about it's about it's about dessert. Okay, it's about different types of dessert.
But dude, there was a guy with a rock hiding under the coffin. He threw it. That's why they could beat the shit out of people holding the coffin.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Yeah. We don't want to date the episodes, but yeah. Look, by the time you're listening to this, something else has happened in Palestine, right? The illegal Zionist entity will not stop until it's brought down. So that's
which isn't that wild. Like somebody's gonna listen to this in like a week or on Patreon, or 2 weeks from recording everywhere else, and they're gonna be like, you're like 3 weeks late with the war crimes that are going on here. I know I'm saying it jokingly, even though it's fucked up, but they happen so often that talking about a thing in 2 weeks is like, that was like a war crime number 7,892. We're already at 8,000 something. It's almost growing as fast as our Patreon.
It's like
that was awful.
Ooh, that was not good. No. Oh my God. Well, I was gonna say, it's like we're just gonna be casually chatting and be like, they shot another journalist. They shot a journalist. It's like, another one? Right? It's like, it's the 27th one this month. Oh man. Swiftly moving on from that topic. I was gonna say, this is a side note for the intro, I guess, but thank you to everybody for the 1 million listeners, downloads. I don't fucking know, but it says 1 billion on the thing. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. It says 1 million. Thank you very much for the million, whatever.
It is a sexy number, lots of zeros. Makes us feel good.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's huge for how long we've been doing this podcast. So thank you all so much for listening, and we hope you continue to enjoy our junk.
Yeah, honestly, I yet again reiterate, why the fuck do you people listen to us? But thank you very much for doing so.
We're glad you do.
That was the yin. That was the yang. Now the yin comes. They listen to us because we are objectively the best podcast that was ever created, and being the best podcast, which is the best type of media ever invented or created, we are literally the best piece of media to have ever existed in humanity. I don't know why the Oscars don't start including podcasts, because let me tell you, girl, we would fucking win the first one. Okay.